Hey, welcome to the Glover Show Sports Edition. We're talking Kaepernick now. And over the weekend, Kaepernick worked out and he put out a tweet. For 5 years, I've been working out and staying ready just in case an opportunity to play presented itself. Stop right there. Opportunities to play don't present themselves on a professional level. You earn a roster spot. You earn an opportunity to be on a roster. And the opportunity does not present itself to play unless you go through those channels. Is he serious or is this a publicity stunt? And then he further tweeted at the end of the tweet, quote, "But man, I do miss throwing to professional route runners," end of quote. Tyler Lockett of the Seattle Seahawks responded with a tweet of his own. "Let's do it, bro. Me and my brother will come out and run routes for you." Stop right there. Now, 5 years removed from the National Football League, staying in shape to get an opportunity. So you would think if this person or professional athlete that was seeking to be in the National Football League will be ready to play based on what we see. So the documentation of him working out, I believe there's a full video in which I didn't watch, because when I watched the beginning of the video and an actual tweet, it showed me that Kaepernick is not ready to play in the National Football League and will never play in the National Football League simply because he's been removed from the game and he does not have the, I would say, what it takes to be in the game right now, because he's literally starting from scratch. Now, 5 years is a new start. He's starting from scratch. And when I say this is because everybody that knows football knows that football is like mathematics almost. It's universal language. You could flip the script, but pretty much once you pretty much understand the basics, you know something. Just like if you want somebody to run a out route, you could basically say, hey, what type of route are you running? You're going to run a speed out or a square out, or I want you to run a square out, or I want you to run a speed out. I'm looking at the beginning of the video before it all started, before it was edited. Kaepernick walked over and said, "Okay, I want you to run an out." He said, "Okay, I'm going to run an out." And Kaepernick, instead of saying, and you can look at the tweet, instead of saying, "Are you going to run a speed out or a square out?" Kaepernick said, "Are you going to run this one and just turn quickly, or this one and plant it?" And then Tyler Lockett looked and he said, I'm going to run this one and plant it. "Oh, okay, that one." And he looked like, damn, he tripping. So Tyler Lockett is lined up on top of the numbers. If that's his lineup, that's his positioning to run his out. Kaepernick walks pretty much almost to the other sideline, turn around and look at Lockett and says, "So, where you want me to throw from?" And I said, "Hold up, stop right there. Freeze the frame." The quarterback usually controls everything. He asked the receiver, "Where do you want me to throw the ball from?" And he was on a football field. Everybody knows you throw the ball from either the middle of the field or somewhere between the hash marks. Kaepernick was walked way past the hash mark. Tyler Lockett had to come over and say, "No, okay, well, either line up in the middle or on the pro hash." Kaepernick was like, "Oh." And I said, "Wait a minute, man. You've been waiting for an opportunity to play for 5 years and you somehow forgot the universal fundamentals to football?" I'm sure my big homie K-Mac and his homie Snoop can get their 6 youths to run routes and to edit some film to make them look like some professionals. But it didn't stop there. This is something else that I saw. And this is in the same sequence. All of this is happening in real time. So then he goes, All right, ready? And then Lockett looked at him and said, so are you shotgun? Because the position, it looked like it was shotgun. So Lockett was kind of scooting up. He said, you shotgun? And he said, oh, no, I'm under and I'm going to take him off from under. But under is under. He was in a shotgun position and he was supposed to be under, which is cool for the timing. So then he said, set, go. He took the 3-step drop, threw an out route to a professional football player. He caught it. And then I think he was throwing it to Jacobs or something. If it's because he basically was like he was making a video or something. And he said, all right, I'm throwing it to this guy. Was trying to make it. But it was basically, I looked at something and I said, wait a minute. Maybe his mind was somewhere else. But in terms of universal football, the quarterback's always in control. Everybody knows you line up in the middle or on the hash, especially if you're a pro hash, if you high school to high school hash, which is much further. But when he said he was ready to play football, this is a publicity stunt. This is all it is, a publicity stunt. Because like I said, what I saw was not a player that even had the ability to play football. And I'm not hating on Kaepernick, but I do have my hater jacket on because you can't tell me what I saw. I saw a man out there looking like he wanted to put some tape together to just be a part of the narrative. Juicy Smollett got arrested this weekend. He went to jail this weekend, So Kaepernick decided to tweet, oh, I got to put something out. It's like they're working together. And Kaepernick is about to lose his black card, in which he really never had it. We know his story. It's a biracial brother raised by whites. So he does not really know and understand. And he's an introvert. He don't speak out. He don't lead. They understand what false narrative and propaganda is. They understand, like, when you go back in time, he's documenting his career. So when they do the Kaepernick movie, when he's long gone, it's going to show 5 years later, he was still throwing to professional athletes. He was still trying to, he was being blackballed. You're not being blackballed like Muhammad Ali. You're not a martyr. You quit, bruh. You was insubordinate. And then you came out with the Kunta Kinte shirt on. And I know it sounds redundant, but it's real. If you're trying to be a part of something, you have to accept the rules and the parameters that they set. Just like with the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones said, listen, guys, I'm going to come out there. I'm going to take a knee with y'all. But that's going to be it. Understand? Yes, sir. We understand. But you guys just really took it too far. And then now you're trying to make the world believe in social media that you have this ability. And when you were finishing your NFL career, it was on the downtrot because you lost your college style type quarterback coach in Harbaugh, who's at Michigan now. Because if you had an opportunity to play, if you was one of the top 32 players in the NFL, which you think you are, and this is why the tweet went out for an opportunity to play, presented himself. It's not like you're no Tom Brady. Tom Brady's 40 years old, whatever age Brady is, he's over 40, 41, 42 almost. And he's committed to another year because of the system and how he plays and how he understands this. But he did it plain with no time off. 1 year removed from the NFL is tough. 2 years removed from the NFL is super tough. So 5 years. So why hasn't it been somebody that got convicted of a crime, come out of jail 5 years later and go to the NFL? It's literally impossible. But somehow we could believe this because he had the ability to create the narrative. So I'm sure Tyler Lockett and his brother felt a type of way, having to tell this professional quarterback who's ready where to line up at. And you could tell somebody from over here, hey, would you run a square out or a speed out? Okay. Which one you running? This one or this one? Man, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. So Kaepernick, publicity stunt, losing his black card, probably never had it. But you and Juicy Smollett, man, you guys must be working together because you guys are taking some attention off of what's supposed to be going on. When that right there was embarrassing for me to watch. And I've only coached youth football. I mean, come on, even we know that, bruh. But man, that's our show, man. I just had to tap into this special edition because Kaepernick, we have to set the record straight. Bill Glover Show, we keep it straight with no chasers, entertainment, sports, politics, and money. And this has been a part of the sports because Kaepernick, for some strange reason, is still wanting to be in the narrative when I guess you forgot where to line up at, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. But with that being said, man, y'all have a good day. And make sure you tap into the A Better Black America podcast on all your streaming services. And those videos and those podcasts be out there. So there you go. Bill Glover Show. Peace out.